I've had so many different desk setups over the years and mainly built them for the fun of the project or just to change things up. And while still a work in progress, this new desk setup will actually be my main spot going forward, since my main office will actually be a baby's room in just a few months. I've got a whole lot to cannibalize from that setup still, but for me right now, a desk setup has to do just a couple things: content creation, professional work, relaxation, and of course my favorite, gaming. For this desk setup though, I really did want to go a little bit more cozy this time around, pulling inspiration from that desk setup in the movie Her from 2013. There is a whole lot here, and for once it's not a super minimal setup, but I will have all the links down below in the video description. I also do want to thank FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video and sending me out this desk, but more on them very shortly. Now the spot I have here isn't the biggest, but it also doesn't really have to be, since there's always something to be done with just about any amount of space. But I did do all the measurements beforehand, and the green tape is where I envision wall stuff will be. Building out the desk itself though, this is the FlexiSpot Q8 Comhar Sit Stand Desk, and trust me, if you're an aging millennial, you should probably be standing more. Putting this together though, it was actually really easy and only took me about 15 minutes. It comes mostly pre-built, and honestly it's just a matter of screwing on the leg columns to the pre-built desktop, which is somehow already partially cable managed. Connecting the motors only took a few seconds by guiding it through the cable holes as well, and after installing the legs, it was just a matter of flipping it over to install the included cable management accessories. Cable management here was actually really easy, and this time around I didn't use any added 3M tapes or anything. It's just a matter of installing the included cable management tray, which is where I keep my power strip, as well as the cable management cover where you can stuff all the remainder of your cables. For me, it does end up looking like this, which is actually pretty clean for just a little bit of effort, and I only have one single cable leading to my wall. Outside of that, the desk itself is extraordinarily well built with the heavy metal frame and bamboo desktop. On here as well, there is a built-in wireless charger for just about anything you'd need. There is a low profile drawer as well, which is good for storing any sort of knickknacks you have laying around, including keyboards, notebooks, cables, and anything else you might have. And when it comes down to using the programmable panel, I usually just set one for standing and one for sitting, although you can adjust it to anywhere in between. Still, there are 4 presets you can set for yourself. There's also a built-in Type A and Type C port for charging anything else you might have. When the desk is moving though, the motors are rather quiet, and once at the top, the entire desk setup is actually pretty sturdy. A nice touch here as well is that they do include a wooden block, so you are able to use a monitor arm, which is perfect for me. I will have all the details down below in the video description, but FlexiSpot will be running some live stream giveaways, Black Friday deals, and a chance to win your order for free. Check out the links below, and thanks again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Jumping into the rest of what's in my setup though, I do want to start with both my monitor as well as my game console. For me, this setup covers me for just about everything from editing to content consumption, as well as gaming. This monitor is the LG 27GR95QE, which is a mouthful, but it is a beast of a monitor. This one is a 240Hz OLED display supporting all the top-end gaming features for both high-end and casual gamers. For myself, I won't really be moving my gaming PC just yet, since I will need a smaller case to fit into this setup, but for now I do have my PlayStation 5 Slim, which has been great for its smaller size. It does fit perfectly in this setup and pretty much drives the entire thing for whenever I'm not working. Paired with this monitor though, I am getting all the best gaming features like variable refresh rate, auto low latency port, and it's just been my go-to for gaming recently. My gaming backlog does continue to grow week over week, but right now I'm really enjoying Spider-Man 2 as well as my second playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Still, its general all-around capability is incredible, and this does really allow me to decompress after a long crappy day. Eventually, I will be subbing out this LG monitor for the KTC variant, which does have its own included speakers. But outside of that, I do also have a dated iPad Air 4 in this setup, which is sitting atop this magnetic stand from Banks, which is actually one of the most satisfying stands I've ever used. I'll mainly be using this iPad for music, apps, a second display, and most frequently this Pomodoro clock app, which allows me to work 25 minutes of hard focus with 5-minute breaks. When it does come down to my creation work though, I'm currently using this M3 Pro MacBook in space black, and really it's an absolute powerhouse of a machine when it comes down to my creation needs. I do edit on Final Cut Pro, and this machine simply cuts through my projects without breaking a sweat, although I do think I shortchanged myself on storage, which might call for an exchange. Between my PlayStation 5 and MacBook, these actually both connect to this BenQ Thunderbolt dock, which allow me to swap between my inputs as well as all my peripherals. Coming down to the other accessories though, since my Comhar desk is bamboo, I have incorporated some lighter wood pieces like this hand from IKEA. Honestly, it's the best 20 bucks I've ever spent. It easily holds controllers, headphones, and even a bag of milk if you need it. This thing is straight up gold. For my headset though, I am using this pair of HyperCloud X2s, which have been long lasting. I think they're around 7 years old or something at this point. They definitely need replacing, and if you have any good recommendations, please let me know. Paired with this is my Grovemade desk shelf. I have been a huge fan of Grovemade for years, and while really expensive, their desk accessories really are incredible quality. just having a desk shelf like this does add more levels to your setup, allowing you to stow things away, maintaining general organization, and really it kind of just looks badass. Similarly, I do have this light gray desk mat from GroveMade that really just breaks up the look of this setup entirely and simply adds to the aesthetic. For my keyboards of choice, I kind of rotate them out depending on what I'm doing, but my main one is this NuFi Air 96. I really just dig the pop of color, and the switches sound like soft rain on a tent. Still, when I do swap it out, I typically put them on this inexpensive wall mount that I did find on Amazon. It is perfect for any sort of keyboards or game controllers. It was about 10 bucks or so, and it just looks awesome. Plus, they do fold up if I ever need to, but even when my desk is standing, nothing gets hit. And of course, when it comes down to my mouse, I'm using this basic Razer Arachi. I've had it for quite a while now, and it's legit just minimal and does the job. I've used it for both PC gaming in the past, alongside all of my editing and professional workflows. The battery does last like 3 months as well on the 2.4 GHz dongle, and a wild 5 to 6 months on Bluetooth. Just an all-around set and forget quality mouse that's somehow also inexpensive. And when it comes down to my chair, I am using this Steelcase EMEA. It is really heavy and super expensive. It's kind of like a Herman Miller, but honestly, I always say don't skimp on anything between you and the floor. Whether it's footwear, a bed, or a chair, just don't skimp on it because it really makes the difference. I know it makes me sound like an old man, but it's true. Still, this chair is insanely high quality and the amount of adjustments are simply nuts. One thing for sure is I will be swapping out the wheels. I think I'm going to be using rollerblade wheels to make it a little bit smoother on the floor. But bringing some personality into the setup was definitely my favorite part, and for me, it comes down to a mix of art, lighting, and greenery. Starting with the art though, these are prints from Sand Grain Studios. These are actually really thick cut prints with loads of options available, but as a longtime Blink-182 fan, throwing up Enema of the State was a must-have, alongside Circles by Mac Miller. From a music standpoint, I love these albums, and I think they look great in terms of the prints. Separate from that though, I also do have this iPhone 5 frame from Grid Studios. I know it's super corny since it's an iPhone, but honestly, it's just one of my favorite devices of all time, and even today I'm infatuated with the iPhone 13 mini since it's very similar. Now coming down to lighting, I needed something both practical and cozy, but I do have this light bulb from Art Digest. It's just an on-off light bulb that floats, and to me that's insane. Apart from that, I just have this dimmable lamp from IKEA, as well as this light bar from Govee. The Govee lamp is pretty sweet if I do want to change my lighting colors around, especially if I'm feeling extra gamer, but most times I just keep it to a warm white. On top of my monitor though, I'm also using the Xiaomi light bar, which is a simple one-click wireless button, which is also dimmable. And when it comes down to other stuff, I just have some books that I really enjoy. Sometimes it's nice to not be looking at a screen and just read. And lastly are some fake plants, since I can't really trust myself to care for a real one, not yet at least. Apart from all of that though, what's a good setup without some delicious coffee? And while not directly on my desk or setup, this does sustain me through everything. I can't do latte art yet, but I can do a damn good Americano. But anyways, that's the setup, and I think it might be my favorite yet. I am looking forward to adding to it as I go, and I'm really looking forward to having my gaming PC fit into this. If you have suggestions on tiny PC cases, please let me know. I will be doing a new build in the new year. Again, another thanks to FlexiSpot for sending this desk my way. Be sure to check out the links below for their live giveaways and Black Friday deals. Anyways, that's been it. I appreciate you watching till the end. Till next time.